Hey everyone, I'm back. Some of you know I've been in China for the last the last several weeks, and I am back. So while I was there in the beginning, I had very limited access to YouTube, which gradually became no access to YouTube. So I couldn't upload any reviews, but now I'm back stateside and I can be much more regular like I was before. So I am going to talk a little bit about a film today that is from Norway, and the English title is The King of Devil's Island. This is actually based on a true story that happened at a Norwegian, they called it like a boys' camp, which is kind of like a prisoner camp, but for boys aged 11 to 18. And this was operating at the beginning of the 20th century, where they were supposed to reform these juvenile delinquents who were there for various reasons, anywhere from like petty theft to, from my understanding, murdering people. So they had all different sorts of boys that were at this camp. And so they were supposed to reform them to make them basically good, well-educated, well-mannered Christian young men, but basically they were using them for very cheap, in other words, free manual labor, hard manual labor. And they would put them under these extreme conditions, like you're in Norway for one, so the winters there are extremely harsh. You know, the places where they were, they didn't have any heat. Also, you had some very unscrupulous, extremely corrupt, and very deviant guards that were at the camp. And so it's hard to tell if it was, I imagine they took a lot of liberties with this story, but there were actual true occurrences that occurred to this. And so that's what prompted this film. So what happened was you had a young man, one of the older boys, he was 17, came to the camp and actually was under the request of the principal of the school, who's played by Stellan Skarsgård. Now, he's probably the only actor in this film that most of us would recognize, because most recently in the US, he has played Selvig in Thor as well as the Avengers. And so he is the principal in this film. Now, it was under his character's request that this young man be brought into the camp. A lot of people were against it because it's been told that he killed a man. And so that's why he was brought here instead of being sent to prison, because he was still 17 years old. So they believe that they could reform him. But his main goal was to escape from this island. And so he started making enemies as well as friends, and he developed a really close friendship with this one other young man who was in there. They were the same age, and he was like the head of the boys. He did everything right, everything he was supposed to. He had been in the camp since he was 11 years old, and he was just waiting for his turn to be able to leave. And so in order to leave, you have to like plead your case to the board after doing everything right. And so he's just waiting for that time to come. And basically, he's the goody two-shoes that everyone looks up to, but at the same time, he turns a blind eye to a lot of the corruption that's going on. And so the new guy, he points that out to him, saying, it's like, you know, you're this do-gooder, yet how can you let this happen to the other people who look up to you? And so a certain incident occurs, and that prompts an uprising. And it's a very severe uprising. You know, many people are killed, and I think it's something like 150 Norwegian like military troops are actually called in. So that's something that really did happen. And it's a good story. The ending, I didn't care much for the ending because I wish it were different. I just wish it were different. It was somewhat predictable. It made you upset, but I guess it's really the only kind of fitting ending that could happen to the story. But it's a good film. It's good. I would highly recommend watching this. It's won many awards overseas. In the US, I don't think they ever found a distributor. It only made, I think, like $7,500 in the US because I'm not sure if it even played anywhere. But definitely see it. Once again, King of Devil's Island, based on a true story. Watch it. It's sad. It's sad, but it's good. Give it a go, and I will see you all next week. Until then, I hope you stay cool. It is hot outside, disgustingly hot. I will see you later. Goodbye. Oh, and also, thank you so much, Jim and Adam. Although, Adam, I'm not sure how much you've been doing lately since you started working. I know you've been really, really busy, more so than usual. But thank you so much, Jim. Bye.